Hello once again YouTube, Chris the Nightbringer here, bringing you some Starmade action. When we left off on the last episode of my shipbuilding, we were in the process of making a Minmatar Tyrfing, and this is basically, I didn't mention this in the last episode, but this is a bomber ship, and it's a small ship. This is a single fighter ship, or a single pilot ship. And these are just a bomber class ship. You don't actually fly them in EVE Online. You just like send them out from your carriers or something. I don't know because I haven't played with these ships before, but this is what that ship is, in case any of you were actually wondering. So we're gonna come back and we're gonna come back to where we just left off, which was this like engine area. Excuse me while I adjust my headset. And now that I'm looking back at this, we're gonna have to change a few things. And adjust some stuff, and I'm gonna have to look around at this stuff real quick to figure out how we're gonna do that, because a few things have to change. Mostly just this, however. So we bring this back, right, and it's 7 meters, so it comes back that far, right, and that's how far back that entire engine block comes. And we're gonna take the gray armor. We're gonna get rid of some of these glass pieces because we're not working with the glass right now. And just behind this is this. Right, okay. So we're gonna do that. And I'm also thinking of getting rid of this and pushing this back into here. And then we need to get the angle correct for this. And the reason we're doing that is because this thing has to have a little bit more bulk to it and definition, and we don't have that with what we're doing at the moment. So we do that, and then we come over to here, and we put these on there, and we'll also extend that back. And we don't have to, actually. What we can do is do this type of thing. Do we want to do that? I don't know. Let's add the lower piece before we determine whether we want to do that. Let's see. We do need the gray corner pieces. And we'll probably be changing these to the other gray. Actually, I'll do that right now. I'm going to make these pieces look like components instead, because they really are components and not just whole pieces. So this is going to be one of the engines to this ship, because that's what's back here. This is what I'm making right now. Let's get rid of this. Get rid of that. And there. And we're gonna look back this way. It's very weird and confusing process sometimes, having to figure out stuff like this because there's just not enough space for all the detail you want, so you have to improvise in a way. We're gonna get rid of that. Okay, so there's that part, right? And I don't know if I like that. I really don't. If we could throw that in there. That's going the wrong way. So we have this. We have that. We have... Well, actually, that's it. That's all I wanted on there. I don't want to put this back over here because this wing is only supposed to be 2 meters. So you know what? I think that's what we'll do with this. And I'm looking at the picture, and it's very hard to get an accurate representation of how we should actually do this. I think I'll connect this here, and I'll get this out. Right? And we could put one there. And we could put that there, and that kind of gives it a weird, like that weird bulky shape to it again. Sort of. I don't even know if I'm gonna stick with this design, because I don't like this. This should indent, and like if we just get rid of this, I don't want to have just that, because there's supposed to be pieces on the outside covering it up. And what I'm talking about is the engine that's going to go there. It's not going to be very big, but it's going to be there for show, sort of. And I don't even know if it's worth putting it there in the first place. Let's get rid of these pieces because those are supposed to be components. If you're fighting any of my ships in the future, you'll know exactly where to aim if you want to take out a system on the ship, because it will literally just be wherever you see these types of hull armor pieces. Let's see. Does that look good? That looks fine. For now. For now. Hold on, I'm listening to the weather outside real quick. I could have swore I heard thunder. I wasn't sure if I wanted thunder at this precise moment, but whatever. Okay, so we're done with the wing for now. There isn't much to add to it, so we don't really care. We're going to move on to the other stuff, and I'm going to look at the picture real quick and see if I can get a good look at it. We're not going to determine the color of this right now. We're going to put this here, because this pretty much goes along this entire thing's length, from what I understand. It doesn't connect to that at all. And that looks like a pretty decent size for the wing. So a lot of this ship is much more forward than I thought it would be, but that's totally okay. And let's see. Let's see. Okay, so we have the engines now. We're going to be doing the engines, and I'm just going to outline this with black to start off with. I don't know how far forward these things go, but they go pretty far forward, actually. Jeez. I wish I had measured this now that I think about it, because this is like a big major component of the ship, and I didn't exactly figure out how far forward this went. I'm just outlining this with black right now. And shit, I really should have measured this. And if you don't mind, actually, I think I will. I'm going to continue to measure out some of this stuff. Like I said, I'm trying to make this proportional to what I'm building, so I'll be right back, motherfuckers, while I check this shit out, and I'll get back to you in a second. You won't even notice I'm gone. Alright, so I've calculated the rest of the dimensions and whatnot, so I figured it all out. So, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Well, that makes no sense. Oh my god. What is happening with this build? Shit, okay. Let's see, 7 down, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, so... Okay, so the engines go this high. They come over, and they're that long. But I can't believe it's 10, and it can't be. It really cannot be 10 meters back. Or can it? Can it really be that far back? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I'm just sitting here and I'm looking at the picture, and it just, the way I built it so far does not add up. And it makes no sense. It really doesn't. Which makes me think that I've built a lot of this out of the right area. This wing should be like forward or something. And I don't know how to solve that, to be completely fair. From what I understand, that engine comes out to at least there. So from now, I'm just gonna do it that big, and it comes down to, and that's the size of the engines. Get the fuck out of here, weed. So that's the size of the engines. If you're looking at the picture, that's proportionally as best as I could make the engines. And then there's the centerpiece, and then the rest of the ship goes down and whatnot. So that's the size of them. I don't know if that's where they fucking actually go, and it's really frustrating. Shit. The centerpiece is like 1 block lower. And then, let's see, right there is like another something, and then the cockpit is like from here down from that point. It's very hard to see with this fucking red wall in the way. Can get rid of some of these. I don't need all those in the back. Fuck. I really don't like this. I'd need to know where the engine goes on the rest of this, or compared to the rest of this, and there's no real good way of figuring it out, other than just guessing and coming up with some shit. So you know what I'm gonna say? If that's how big the wing is, then I'm gonna say this comes out 4 meters as well. Okay, that's fair enough. That's fair enough. Okay, so I'm gonna take this, and if you look at the picture, there's some gray, and then behind it is some more brown hull. So I'm going to take it and I'm going to flip it so that it's on the right way. And we're just going to do this right here. We're going to get rid of that. Uh-oh, somebody's going up the stairs. Somebody in my house is awake. I'm listening. Actually, no, they went downstairs, but I don't think they heard me. So that's okay. That's totally okay. Trying to keep quiet. It's like, what, 4 in the morning here or something? I don't know. I like to do my stuff when it's not going to get bothered by people. So we get rid of this, and we make this look kind of like a hood, because this is like an intake for like air or something. So what we can do with this is we can get these other gray pieces, because this entire front part is gray, and we put them on like this. So if we turn this thing to face the sunlight, which it should be facing the sunlight. Shit, that's not facing the sunlight. What the fuck am I doing? Jesus. So hopefully, no, don't go that way. We get out of this, and oh, okay. I guess you cannot see that at all, which is kind of a shame. There's like these fans or panels or something here. There's fins inside this engine intake something, and I'm kind of disgruntled by the fact that you really cannot fucking see it. Why is this selected? Get the fuck out of here. Anyway, continuing with the construction of this, we're gonna take our brown hull and push this back, and I'll put the corners on those engines in a moment. We do this and bring this back, right? And it's gonna connect to the wing right there. So that's looking pretty good so far, right? It's looking pretty big and beefy, just like those engines are supposed to look, and I like the way that's starting to look already. And we're gonna take these panels here, and these are gonna go like this along the side of it. Oh, God, I hate this. You have to fucking do this all the time. You just put those along the edge. God damn it. See? Fucking told you. Put those there. So now that engine's getting a little bit of its shape back. And actually, now that I think about it, I don't know if I want to do that. I wonder if I just want to do this. Although that would... No, I can't do that. Okay, never mind. Ignore that. I have to do it very differently than what I just did. I have to do this, and you have to get rid of that. Okay, so we have the engines there. And we can start pushing these back, and these engines go about as far back as these wings, pretty much. So we can do that. We can bring them as far back as they need to go. I'm going to probably change the color of this wing, and in fact, I'm going to get rid of everything that we don't need in here. Okay, that looks pretty good. Because in the future, we're going to change the color of the wing so that it looks different, probably black or gray. Depends on what is more likely the color from this picture that I'm looking at. So we push the engines that far back, and those things are looking very mighty fine, very beefy. In the back, the engine actually angles up, and then it kind of like rounds up, and then like the other rest of the part of the engine comes out. So let's just add on the rest of this stuff. And this is how I kind of like to build, is with like getting things to like where they're supposed to be, getting things built out to their lengths, and then adding the detail afterwards, because that's exactly how you do anything with like a build or something. You don't do the detail first, you do the detail after. So now I'm just gonna, even though there's like a lot of stuff here that's like making this look more interesting, I'm just building this bulk up first before I do anything else. So this engine comes that far back, and then what we have after that is the actual like engine pieces that we'll be using. And these actually, let's get rid of this, and now we have to figure something out. I'm looking at the picture and it looks like it goes down, but I don't want it to go down. Or maybe I do. Yeah, I do. Okay. So then the engine kind of comes back like this, and then we have like these gray pieces instead, right? And I won't be using these because we have actual engine pieces that we can use for this. That looks like it's a little bit too far ahead. So let's get rid of this. Yeah, that looks about good. Oh. So we have that now, right? And I'm looking at the pictures, and I'm looking at this, and that looks like it's about the right lengths and proportions, which looks pretty good. And then I'm gonna see if we can actually make this the engine. I don't know if I want... Now, normally I really wouldn't be paying attention to this right now, but this is supposed to be where the engines are. And the only thing that sucks about this is this entire thing is the engine. So I don't know if I'm going to keep these here or if I'm going to push them back inside and then put like lights here or something. I have no fucking clue. But for now, we're just going to do that and... or something. So we have the engines marked out now. And let's see. We can actually add another layer of gray to this front piece because this gray comes out very far. So we're going to add more gray to this, make it look very nice in the front. And I seem to have lost that gray hull corner slab thing. I don't know. We're going to put that back and come down here and put that there. Yeah, this is looking a little bit nicer. Oh crap, didn't mean to do that. Put that there, and then this goes there, and we come back, we put this there. We can do these corners now, just because this is very nice and rounded off. Oh no, wait, we can't. Shit. Okay, so that's how that's gonna have to look, because the corner pieces are not an actual perfect triangle. They have a square on one side, which is kind of is weird and buggy and weird. And another thing about this is I don't like the fact these things, see how there's like a square on one side? Those squares never are positioned to like a side block. They're always up or down. And that really bugs me because some of these curves would be nice looking if they were positioned in that way. I don't know if you understood what I've just fucking said, but I hope you did. So now we're going to look back at the cockpit area, and the cockpit area doesn't start till back here at least. And even so, I'm skeptical. And we're going to get rid of that real quick. And I'm just looking at the picture still again. And it does look like this cockpit comes down kind of like that. And then in front of that is like this thing, right? And we're going to round this off and make it look nice after. And then the cockpit window comes forward even again. So now you're getting an idea for where the cockpit's going to go. That looks very boring, so we're going to change that and make it look more interesting. We might angle it out kind of like the way it does on the picture. This is a very slow process, I realize that, but we're trying to make something based off a picture and we're trying to do it as best as we can. And I apologize ahead of time if that's boring the hell out of you. In which case I say sorry, I guess. I don't know. I mean, maybe you should or should not be watching this, because I know people are just like, oh my god, I don't understand how I could ever build something so cool. And I'm kind of taking you through the steps of how I do it and stuff. That was Mountain Dew, in case you're wondering, because it's so delicious. Okay, so for now, actually, I'm pretty sure that's about as low as the cockpit goes, and apparently that's how far that comes out. There's no way. There's no way that comes out that far. I'm looking at this, and there's just no way. Maybe that far. Yeah, that looks better. Okay, so I think we're gonna leave it there. And we're going to come back next time and finish this ship. It's very close to being finished, actually. There's not a lot left to do. There's just this bottom part, and that's very easy stuff to figure out. And then we're going to add all the systems and details. And this ship should only take another episode or so. So I'm going to cut it off here. Comment, rate, favorite, subscribe. Tell me what you think. Leave me some feedback down below. Click the link at the end of the video to watch the next episode, and I'll see you guys later. Right, okay. So we're gonna do that. And I'm also thinking of getting rid of this and pushing this back into here. And then we need to get the angle correct for this. And the reason we're doing that is because this thing has to have a little bit more bulk to it and definition, and we don't have that with what we're doing at the moment. So we do that, and then we come over to here, and we put these on there, and we'll also extend that back. And we don't have to, actually. What we can do is do this type of thing. Do we want to do that? I don't know. Let's add the lower piece before we determine whether we want to do that. You just like send them out from your carriers or something. I don't know, because I haven't played with these ships before, but this is what that ship is, in case any of you were actually wondering. So we're gonna come back, and we're gonna come back to where we just left off, which was this like engine area. Excuse me while I adjust my headset. And now that I'm looking back at this, we're gonna have to change a few things. And adjust some stuff, and I'm gonna have to look around at this stuff real quick to figure out how we're gonna do that. Hello once again, YouTube. Chris the Nightbringer here, bringing you some Starmade action. When we left off on the last episode of my shipbuilding, we were in the process of making a Minmatar Tyrfing, and this is basically, I didn't mention this in the last episode, but this is a bomber ship, and it's a small ship. This is a single fighter ship, or a single pilot ship. And these are just a bomber class ship. You don't actually fly them in EVE Online, because a few things have to change. Mostly just this, however. So we bring this back, right? And it's 7 meters, so it comes back that far, right? And that's how far back that entire engine block comes. And we're going to take the gray armor. We're going to get rid of some of these glass pieces, because we're not working with the glass right now. And just behind this is this.